So, hello everybody. Welcome to Emoti-kaun session 16. We are back to our original locations. We share a long distance relationship. I'm Hema Subramanian. That's Sowmiya Bhas. We both run the W therapies. And today's episode is going to be very special because Soumya is down with laryngitis. Please send healing energies to her so she gets better soon. And you hear her voice, and I stop rambling. And this is also a test of our friendship over so many days till her throat becomes better. I it's a test of whether I can understand what she's trying to say through sign language or even lip read or even anticipate what she's going to say. So today is going to be me rambling non-stop. So again, welcome to Emoti-kaun session 16. And so just to recap certain things. Yeah, and play charades. Yes. Play charades and lose. Hopefully not. Soumya is there, very active on chat, uh, and we will still hope to hear her points of view, her perspective on the chat. Just to recap, over the last few couple of weeks, we've been talking about self-criticism, anger directed towards ourselves. It's one of the most unhelpful and sometimes even unhealthy ways to cope with our life situations. Uh, the primary cause that we spoke with regards to anger was helplessness. So very often when we feel helpless or hurt or disappointed, it turns into anger, and then we kind of try and understand whom can we pin it on. And when we don't find anybody to pin it on, even in our own mind, very often we turn the anger inwards. And then we end up saying really nasty things about ourselves to ourselves. Okay. So that's what we've been talking about, self-criticism. And we saw how unhelpful it was on all levels, on a self-critic, on a physical, emotional, mental, spiritual levels. At all levels, it's a very unhelpful, unhealthy practice to be followed. We spoke a little bit about self-love, and we said that for starters, we try and do things that we like to do that make us feel good, right? We try to change our self talk, the way we talk to ourselves. We also spoke a little bit about showing compassion and kindness towards ourselves. And we said that if there is anybody who deserves forgiveness, it's also us. A lot of times we end up forgiving other people for their transgressions or some things that they have done. But we find it very difficult to forgive ourselves for some things that we do unknowingly. Uh, I'm going to repeat myself here. I said words such as should have or I could have should be thrown in the dustbin because we always act according to the amount of awareness we have at a certain moment. No person in this world will act 100% flawlessly. Yeah, we have a certain amount of awareness, and as our awareness grows, we also change our choices, we change our beliefs, we change our behaviors. So if we thought that I should not have been in this relationship which happened like 7 years ago, or I should not have given this person money at that 5 years ago or 3 years ago or when I was a child, it's a pretty useless line of thought because we act according to the level of our emotional awareness or our emotional state at that given point in time. Today, we are not the same people as we were earlier, right? So every day we learn, we become more aware. Of course, if we put our attention to ourselves, then we become more aware. Otherwise, it's tricky. And oh, yeah. Okay. Soumya writes here. Maybe you could share how to increase awareness. And when you come into awareness, what can be done with it? Okay, so that's a very good question, Soumya. The multiple things that people do as far as increasing awareness is concerned. First things first, this is something that you taught me, is to journal. And when we journal, what do you mean by journal? Journal means to just keep writing whatever is coming to your mind without stopping. No filters, no objections to what you are writing. You just write, whether you're writing nasty things, whether you're writing fun things, whether you're writing whatever it is that you're writing, you just keep writing. And when you write and you become aware, or you, more than saying, you notice the way you're writing things, there is something that you realize, something comes to your attention. I'll give you an example here. So Soumya is drinking coffee. I'm presuming that's chai or coffee or whatever it is. Water possibly, not water either. Okay, so this is where we start playing charades. It's okay. Whatever you're, let's presume that you're drinking coffee and I want a kada. Okay, I don't want the kada, but let's presume you're drinking coffee and I'm feeling a little jealous, saying that, oh my God, you have somebody to make you coffee. I have to make my coffee on my own. It's so frustrating, blah, 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 blah. So at this moment, I'm feeling this. So at night, or maybe later on, when I start journaling and I write these words saying that when Soumya was drinking coffee, I felt jealous. Or I felt that, oh, I wish I had somebody to make me coffee, right? And what does that mean? That means that I feel lonely at some level. So this comes to my attention. So when I ask, what does this mean? What does this statement mean? What is it making me feel? Why am I writing this statement that I'm writing? So when I write that, when it comes to my attention, I notice something about myself. When I notice something about myself, the way I think, the way I feel, and the way I act, that is called as awareness. Okay, noticing or some things about the way we behave, the way we feel, the way we think is called as awareness. When we become aware, we have a choice to change the way we feel, think or act, right? And feeling, when we change the way we think, our feeling also automatically changes. So, for example, so what if she's now? So I say that, okay, yeah, Soumya is drinking coffee, and I wish I had somebody to make me coffee. Next time around, I might buy a flask and fill it with coffee. So I kind of can drink coffee whenever I want. I'm just giving you an example, whatever. So it can be anything of that sort. So any feeling that we start noticing about ourselves becomes a part of awareness. Another method of awareness is also in one of the spiritual schools that I follow, is called as inner reflection. So at the end of the day, you close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and you review the day. What do you mean by review the day? You start looking at, okay, I woke up, and how did I wake up? And I went through my rituals, nothing happened there. Then I couldn't find my matching kurta, maybe, to a pajama, or I didn't find a pajama to a kurta. And when I didn't find the pajama to a kurta, I started getting nervous because I was getting late. And I wanted to wear that particular pajama because that's the dress I wanted to wear there. And one thing led to another. And although I found it deep within my cupboard, I had to pull everything out. I created a mess. And when I reviewed that statement, how did I feel? I felt irritated with myself. I felt irritated with the fact that I couldn't find things that I wanted to find. So this is does this behavior apply only to that situation, or does it apply to many other situations in my life? So, for example, when after that, when I went to the bus stop, somebody didn't let me get in first. So I said, oh my God, I wanted to get in first. Somebody didn't let me. So whatever I wanted didn't happen. So if I notice that as a pattern, uh, then once again, I have a choice to change it. So these are two simple things to increase awareness. Therapy definitely is a huge way to increase awareness, because the person sitting in front of you, that is the therapist, is a mirror. They will reflect what you are not able to see or you are not willing to see. Why are we not willing to see some things about ourselves? Because we don't want to look bad in our own eyes or maybe in somebody else's eyes. Yeah. Is it connected to self-fulfilling prophecies? We're just heading to that. When we are not willing to see what we lack and we keep repeating a pattern, that's when it leads to self-fulfilling prophecy. So just taking one quick step back and finishing the concept of awareness. So awareness will become going to a therapist for a particular seemingly unconnected issue can really be eye-opening. Yeah. Some things we are aware of, some things we are not aware of. When we go to a therapist, they point out that, oh, you seem to be giving in a lot to this particular person, or you seem to be behaving differently with this person as compared to that person. They're like, yeah, I think I do, which I didn't notice earlier. So now I am noticing it. So now it's come to my awareness, which means that it brings up a choice in my life, right? And once I have the choice, I also have the control over my own life. That's what we do with awareness. So, talking about self-criticism and our limiting thoughts. So, what is a self-fulfilling prophecy? Samaya, any idea so far? To fulfill means to that something is going to happen, right? Something is going to come true. Something is going to manifest. So, what is going to fulfill? What is going to being a magician? Almost like that. It's just unbelievable. Although we think that way, but you would have heard a lot of great people, spiritual leaders, motivational speakers, manifestation coaches, so many people, even the holy books would have you would have seen that it's written that you are the master of your own destiny. Yeah. It's almost like an oracle. Oracle means to predict the future. It's almost like the oracle, the self-fulfilling prophecy. So what is self? Self means me. What I want to be fulfilled. I am creating something in my life. What is it that I'm creating in my life? A lot of manifestation coaches say this. And if you want, you can test it, especially in terms of good thoughts. In terms of bad thoughts, you would have already experienced a lot of this earlier. Uh, a self-fulfilling prophecy is also called as Pygmalion's effect. The more we think or hold on to a thought, that thought becomes reality. Okay. Stephen Covey, in his book called Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, writes this beautiful line: all things happen twice, once in your mind and once in reality. Okay. So the more we think about a particular thought, like an oracle, almost like a future told, you will see that those things are coming true. What does that mean? Let me give you an example. Somebody want to share an example while I ramble on about how when we hold a thought, it comes through. It need not necessarily be. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's a line of thought as well. We have spoken about this earlier, maybe in session 2, I think, Soumya, 1 or 2, in one of our much earlier sessions. So we said every thought creates an emotion. Every emotion has some energy or it has a feeling, and that feeling is stored in our body. Okay. So the more we hold this thought, the more it manifests into reality. So a self-fulfilling prophecy will be, if I say nobody likes me, nobody likes me, nobody likes me, it will look like nobody likes you. You will find people who are picking up fights with you. You'll find people who are ignoring you. You will find people who are unnecessarily being nasty to you, and you wonder why. Okay. So I'm not saying that people cannot be nasty. I'm just saying that if you hold this thought for too long, you will find that almost everybody around you is behaving that way. Now, my dad always says this story. He's been saying this story to me for donkey's years now. And it's a cute story from the Mahabharata. So, Krishna is in the mood of testing. No, I think Duryodhan goes to Krishna and says that, like, why do you side the Pandavas? Okay. And why are you like always taking their side kind of a thing? So Krishna says, I'll tell you the secret, but first go and find me a good man. Okay. So Duryodhan sets out and he goes across his kingdom and he tries to find a good man. He roams about the entire place. He comes back and he tells Krishna, there is not a single good man in the kingdom. Okay. Then he says, okay, wait here. And then he calls Yudhishthir and he asks him, okay, go and find me a bad man. Okay. And Yudhishthir goes all around the kingdom, comes back, and he says, I couldn't find a single bad man. Yeah. So it's a great matter of perspective. I'm not saying when we did speak about this, there is nothing called as good or bad, there's nothing called as right or wrong. But we're talking about people that we find we label to be good or bad. Right? So, moral of the story, Duryodhan couldn't find somebody who's agreeable, and Yudhishthir couldn't find anybody because anybody disagreeable, because that's the way they were looking at life. So they kept meeting good people. Yudhishthir kept meeting good people, and Duryodhan kept meeting not so great people. Okay. So Sowmiya writes, shares an example from her personal clientele. Says, I have a client who's very worried about our health, that something will go wrong. And so every time she would worry, she would get more ailments, right? More pains. Uh, the smallest of aches and pains would blow up and she would get scared. And the more she's scared, the more she will fall sick, right? So that's the self-fulfilling prophecy. So if one of the reasons why people constantly tell us to try and be positive, think positive thoughts or change our thoughts to more healthier thoughts is for this particular reason. Because if you train your mind to fall sick, it will fall sick. If you train your mind to be healthy, it will be healthy. We have all seen people who are 85 years of age and who are still super healthy. We have seen 25-year-olds who have all the aches and pains in the world. Yeah. So a self-fulfilling prophecy means the more we hold a thought, that thought will create an emotion. The emotion will have its own energy, and that energy will eventually be stored in the body. Okay. And that will definitely create a big burden for us. Yeah? Having said that, what do we do to prevent these limiting beliefs? We are almost at the end of 2024. I think a great resolution for all of us should be to break at least one limiting belief that we have identified about ourselves. There may be hundreds of limiting beliefs that we create over a period of time, but we definitely have some ones that we are very, very aware of. I will state my limiting belief. Some of you who may eventually watch this video will resonate with it. Is that I cannot lose weight. That is a very, very strong limiting belief. I believe that, oh, it's going to be difficult for me to lose weight because that's how my body is built, and it's going to be difficult because of my aches and pains, and how am I going to do it, and so on and so forth. And the more I am getting worried about it, the more I'm finding it even difficult to walk. Okay. And that's really disturbing in its own way. So I would want you to find one limiting belief. There are, we may have limiting beliefs about our health, about our relationships. Maybe some of us think that we are not good enough, or we think that nobody likes us, or nobody will help us, or maybe nobody will understand us, or some of us may have issues about money, limiting beliefs about money, saying, I don't think, or I will have to slog to get my share of money. Yeah. Or I will have to uh, bend backwards, or I will not get money. It's as simple as that. It's very difficult to earn money. It's a very, very beautiful thing. So I met this 5-year-old, she's going to turn 5 now. I met this 5-year-old and I asked her one day, who are your friends at school? So she says, I don't have any friends. So I asked her, how is that even possible? You will have some friends, no? Everybody has friends. You will also have friends. So she tells me, the 5-year-old tells me, you don't understand. It is not easy to make friends. A 5-year-old. And in my head, I am like, okay, that's a limiting belief, right? And then, of course, we went on to discuss why does she say that and so on and so forth. Uh, to my relief, she has friends. She has good friends. She has quite a few friends, which is a great thing. But it was so easy for a 5-year-old to build a limiting belief, which not even be hers. Okay, maybe somebody else's belief system that she's taken. So, what do we do with this limiting belief? First things first, tap. Okay. So, we're going to do a tapping exercise today to let go of a belief, self-limiting belief. And of course, we spoke about journaling, and we spoke about inner reflection, and we spoke about a habit tracker, right? So when we realize that this is our limiting belief, it's just wiser for us to do exactly the opposite. So, for example, if I say that it's not easy for me to, it's difficult for me to lose weight, what am I going to do about it? I'm going to tell myself that's not true. It's easy. My body can lose weight very easily, and take the necessary steps to uh, make that happen. Of course, just telling yourself that is not enough. But when I tell myself it's going to be easy, it's going to be an easy journey, it's going to be a fun journey. So things will open up, ideas will come up. So on my mind is Zumba, on my mind is Pilates, on my mind is yoga. Something that does not need me to run, work, too hard, not nothing high intensity. So what it's going to do is to open up opportunities, and once again, you will have a choice to break that self-limiting belief and move towards achieving that as a goal. Okay. So let's do a quick round of tapping together. All right, whatever, just make an intention or be aware of the self-limiting belief that you may be carrying within you. Just become aware of that self-limiting belief that you have. And now we all know tapping. We're going to do the longer version of tapping. We're going to use the karate chow point, and we say that even though I have this self-limiting belief, and maybe it is created by me, maybe it is borrowed from somebody else, and now it has become so concrete that it may be a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it's freaky to have this limiting belief as a self-fulfilling prophecy, because it's not going to let me live my life completely and fully. So I take responsibility of my life and my thoughts and my feelings right now, and I choose to love and accept, heal and integrate that part of me completely. Even though I have this self-limiting belief that may be stopping me from living a super duper happy life, to be my best self, I still choose to heal and integrate, love and accept that part of me completely. Even though I carry this self-limiting belief, maybe mine or maybe borrowed from others, and it's not really a helpful thought or feeling, and I know it's stopping me from living a freer life, a peaceful life, a happier life, but still, I choose to heal and integrate, love and accept that part of me completely. Okay. Start with the starting of the eyebrow, this self-limiting belief, the side of the eye, that's preventing me from living a great life. Under the eye, I've been carrying this thought, this feeling for a very long time. Under the nose, it does a lot of things to me. Under the chin, on the chin, like maybe disturb me mentally, emotionally, physically. On the collarbone, and overall, it's a very blah feeling, not a very happy feeling. Under the arm, and somewhere deep down, I know that this limiting belief is truly limiting. On the top of your head, but it's automatic. It just happens on its own. On the side of the eyebrow, even without me realizing it. Side of the eye again. I end up acting almost immediately or thinking almost immediately. And under the eye, there are consequences to my actions. Under the nose, which make my self-limiting beliefs stronger. And on the chin, which makes me feel even more blah. On the collarbone, and I somewhere deep down don't want to think or feel this way. Under the arm, although I know it feels like I don't have a choice, by taking responsibility, I do have a choice. On top of your head. So now I take charge of my thoughts, my feelings, and my actions. Start at the eyebrow. I am willing to let go of this self-limiting belief. Side of the eye. However difficult it may seem. Under the eye. I know I can overcome this. Under the nose, by just setting an intention. On the chin, by just making a choice. Collarbone, and I now make that choice to set myself free from this thought, belief, or action or emotion. Under the arm, I believe in myself. Top of the head, I believe in the power of my mind. Start of the eyebrow, I trust myself. Side of the eye, I have the power to change. Under the eye, and with this power to change, today I set a very strong intention. Under the nose to change this self-limiting belief. On the chin into a positive one, into an empowering one. On the collarbone. So now I choose peace. Under the arm, I choose happiness. Top of the head, I choose confidence in my body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. Place your hand on your chest. Take a deep breath. Let go of the limiting belief. Set an intent to experience more freedom, more peace, more calm in the forthcoming years. One last time, take a deep breath and set yourself free. So we may, although this was something that we did extempore, what matters here is the intent. What matters here is the choice. What matters here that we realize that we have the power to change. We are not as helpless as we seem in a situation. We definitely have the power to change. And at the end of 2024, I request you to make that change in yourself, in your life, for your own good and the well being of everybody around you. Like both Sowmiya and I believe, if we are happy, we create a ripple effect, making the world a better place. Okay. So that's it. We end today's session with this happy thought. Be the change you want to see in the world. And once again, wishing Sowmiya happy healing. Let her heal sooner. We can hear her speak in the next session. Bye, guys. See you next Thursday. Bye.